God.
Well, Dumi Senda is someone with a passion to share with people, relate with people, and I believe I'm blessed with a talent that helps me to connect with people, that helps me to convey perhaps what they feel, sometimes what they think. And if I can do that through my work, and people say, you know what, well, what we just read or what we just heard during your performance or when you give a speech, it speaks to about what they feel in their lives or what they go through. That's such a big honor. So, to me, Senda is just a guy that faces the same challenges in life like everyone else, but is able perhaps to put them in writing and in speech in a way that people can relate to.
Right. So you'll tell people that Dumi Senda is a poet.
I hate to box myself, like generally.
Right.
First and foremost, I would say I'm a citizen.
Right.
It's every citizen's duty to take part in discussions about our nations, about our communities, and so we can do that through many platforms, and I do it through my writing and my public performances. But
Right.
first and foremost, I'm a citizen. I'm a poet as well. I'm a sort of activist. I'm a public speaker, a motivational speaker. All these things are things that connect me with people.
Right.
The platform to discuss the issues that affect us in our community.
Right. And what really motivated you to get into what you do, motivational speaking and poetry?
I've been writing longer than I've been speaking publicly.
Okay.
So the writing bit, is really on my childhood when I was growing up.
It was a passion, you say?
I suppose the interest itself.
Okay.
I used to be aware of people like the Chundra Moyos of Zimbabwe. Later on, I became aware of marriage here. And these people, they were like household names. And as a young boy, I remember just thinking, especially Chundra Moyo, just thinking, I want to be like him one day.
Wow.
I would like to, have my books read by people, and but then it's also something that I went through in my childhood. I didn't have like what you can call an ideal childhood, and so for me, writing became my refuge, if you like.
Wow.
So some people perhaps would run and hide somewhere, but I would run and hide behind paper and pen. Not only it's therapeutic for me.
Wow, that's beautiful. Do you remember what age, how old you were when you started writing?
Right from primary school, right from
Wow.
primary school. I can't pinpoint what age exactly, but in fact, when I was in school, they nicknamed me Marichere, and then I didn't know who Marichere was, but it was because you just never find me without paper and pen.
Wow.
And, it was almost like an audition, I suppose, the way people called it that. But it allowed me to develop this skill.
Right.
Because sometimes now I read some of the stuff that I wrote years back, and I think, oh my God, what was this about? But it's a process of growth.
Right.
I've been doing it for so long. I've grown as I've been doing it.
And why poetry of all things? Why not fiction novels? Why not non-fiction books? Why poetry?
Exactly, why poetry? But that's one thing that perhaps many people don't know about Dumi Senda is that actually I write. It's not just poetry that I write. I write short stories. But it's just that poetry sort of went ahead of everything else. Perhaps in the last 3 years or so, due to, I suppose, the public performances. When I got into public speaking and public performances, the poetry sort of grew a life of its own and went in a direction that it became more of a force in my life, I suppose, than the other stuff. But yes, I write. I actually have 2 novels written that I've written. Been writing over the years, and I have short stories. I write for children. I write for adults. Some who know my work know I also have a few poems for children and such like.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I hope you came prepared. I hope you came prepared, because you'll never know what will happen here. You'll never know what I'll ask you to do. But I find it very fascinating, because I'm one of your many friends on Facebook. I'm one of your over 3,000 friends on Facebook. So very honored to be one of them. And I have the privilege of reading some of your interesting stuff that I know it's not everything that is on there that I catch at times. With you got over 3,000. I have over 3,000. So can you imagine all the posts that we go through every day? So we don't catch everything. So I miss some of the stuff, and I'm like, it's a good thing that he's coming here. He's gonna tell us about his favorite poems and stuff like that. Do you remember any? Like, maybe let's talk about the first one. Do you remember your first poem that you ever wrote? I mean, not counting childhood, like when you knew what you were doing for real.
Yeah, I suppose I don't even know when I started knowing what I was doing. I'm not sure I know what I'm doing now.
And right now, oh boy.
No, it's all a play, I suppose. Like one rolls into another, I remember quite clearly the poems that I wrote when my first years here in England, my first few months.
Right.
I wrote a poem entitled "The English Recipe." I was fascinated by just how English people are so into tea. I had this idea that there was this, recipe that had perhaps gone through the generations of this family, and had been kept and been treasured, and maybe up in the attic. Then one day it came down, and then they were, fascinating over it. This was a valued thing. Wow, part of our history. And something happens, which, involves tea spilling on the paper, and so it takes you through a journey right from the top, the ingredients and everything. Just as you're getting excited, thinking, oh, it's all coming together now. We've got a dish coming together, and then bang, the cup of tea spilling.
Wow. Wow.
Left with that, what happened next? So,
Wow. Wow. I'm sure that really had to be. You wouldn't forget that one. You wouldn't forget that one. And what has been your favorite poem so far? Yeah.
Well, they seem to change every month. For a long time it was one entitled "I Am an African" that a lot of people have seen me perform would know. I haven't posted it, online yet. It's one that I do almost always at my performances. But lately it's been overtaken one entitled "Black, White, Brown Mixed." So what? Because it speaks about something I truly believe, that it doesn't matter the color of your skin, it doesn't matter your origin, where you come from. We're all human beings, and it's just about realizing that we all have value. And I'm proud. Proud to have performed this in honor of a great man this weekend.
Yes.
So happy birthday, Mr. Mandela. He's a fantastic man.
He's amazing.
So it speaks about people like him, the work that they've done ahead of us, and also responsibility that we have now to carry that work as citizens of the world, basically.
Wow. The poem "I'm an African," is it the same one? Like, who did it? Was it Thabo Mbeki?
Well, the title may be the same,
but the material is different, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This is one that I wrote myself, and it's been one of my main poems for quite a long time, and
wow.
I want to share it. Yes.
And what's taken so long for this baby to come out?
No, the baby came out a long time ago, except the baby comes out on live on stage. It's one of those poems.
It's a live on stage one, okay.
Yes, well, I mean, I have a variety of poems. There's some that just cry for the stage. They have this energy that dictates that you perform it live on stage. And then there's some that are perhaps more conversational, that people can sit down and read. But the few that I do live performances on stage, because they really do have a life of their own. So
right.
It's one of those. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And if I say, like, who do you target? I know you said you write for everybody, but when you go for your live performances, is there any age group that you target, or it doesn't matter?
It matters not, to be honest. It matters not. I've performed, and in the crowd I've had very young people. It's not selective.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna take a break, and we'll be right back with Dumi Senda. You guys, if you're just joining us, you're listening to SciFM Radio, the heartbeat of Africa, and this is the Taste of Africa show with Lady Noki.